Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, the Bitcoin and altcoin prices are pumping. So literally for the last couple of hours, Bitcoin has just been trending upwards and upwards and upwards. We already stated before where our first target was going to be, which was going to be at about 44.5 thousand or so, but we've actually hit that. And again, there's so many signs that have turned bullish for Bitcoin and altcoins and anything. Take a look at this. There's, for example, one very beautiful sign, which are the EMA ribbons, and one of the things people are saying right now is that every single time that this flips bullish, it is kind of like a golden cross, because what happens is every single time it flips bullish on there, we get some crazy pump and some crazy gains. Take a look. Here's, for example, about 52%, but the previous time is about, let's check it out, 50% as well. Right now, this is the first time we have broken through with some confirmation and are actually pushing through. And so everybody's expecting that this is going to be a crazy pump yet again. Let's check it out a little bit further though. Let's check it out right here. So here we can maybe take the first pump only about 70% or so. We can take a second pump here. It's however a retest, so it's not exactly the same, but you guys get the drift, right? Or we can check out here where we actually had a bounce off of those EMA ribbons. The percentage thing is not working right now for some reason. I'm clicking wrong. All right, there you go. You cannot see it perfectly on screen, I'm noticing now, but it's about 130% right there. You guys just get that whenever this signal flashes, and right now it is, some crazy things are about to happen. Let's not forget though, guys, that I also said that over on the altcoins, things are looking beautiful right now. Beautiful, crazy! We've had an altcoin downtrend for about half a year, and now it's broken through, got our confirmation, and we're almost at our first target zone of about $1.2 trillion for the altcoins. But remember, guys, we actually got into this trade, and when I say this trade, I just mean we opened crazy trades on almost every altcoin. We got in at about 104 when we we're just basically going long on every altcoin. Right now, it's at about 1.13, so on average, our money should be up about 8.5%. But remember, guys, we are trading this over on Bybit with some crazy leverage, about 10x most of the time. So that means we right now are in about 80% worth of profit on average. I think it's actually a lot more though, because the majority of the coins we had have actually gone up at least 15% in this. While XRP is not one of those coins, we had a nice little juicy breakout yesterday with confirmation. Right now though, we've actually been retesting again, kind of like making a bottom here at 83 cents. But we're still in about 240% worth of profit, or about, again, we put in $1,200. We are right now in $3,200 worth of profit because we're trading with about 27,000 XRP. And if you also want to trade on the exchange that I'm trading on, always make sure you are cautious. Always make sure you understand what you're doing. But there's a link down below for Bybit. That's the exchange I use right now. There are more than $4,100 worth of bonuses, but there's also perks for being in my team because there's competitions coming up where we basically all have to work together. So if you want to be part of the team, if you want some bonuses, check the link down below. And let's just end off by saying altcoins are going mad. I actually called out in the specific video where I kind of got the description from right now, that we should be going crazy on altcoins because everything is looking bullish. This was about a day and a little bit ago, and right now things are exactly the same situation still. I've been calling VeChain ever since we broke, all the way since the 17th. I've been saying VeChain is crazy bullish for almost any of these coins. I've been saying it because the altcoin market cap was showing it, was flashing it. Now if you're wondering, there's actually one thing that I think is a very big cause for this Bitcoin pump scenario, and I believe it is right here. My camera's a little bit laggy, because what this is showcasing is a report. Gas giant Icahn is running a gas to Bitcoin mining pilot program in North Dakota. And Bitcoin.com, the official Twitter account, also said Bitcoin heads towards 45,000 with news from Russia accepting crypto for gas exports. And to be honest, this is actually not a crazy thing. This could seriously, on its own, pump the crypto prices to the moon. It's not a crazy thing if you think about it. Check this out though, guys. So we have Russia may accept Bitcoin for gas exports, lawmaker says. But on the left, we also have a couple of very interesting things, like billionaire Icahn predicts a recession, or worse, says there's no accountability in corporate America. Now, I don't want to say that is completely true, as again, I try to keep it as as middle grounded as possible. Florida governor here says Ron DeSantis says state is figuring out ways to allow businesses to pay tax in Bitcoin. Things are changing so rapidly. And on this channel, I actually like to focus on altcoins and things in that little nature. But what we are seeing right now, you can't go around. The day before that, the Fed Chair Jerome Powell said crypto needs new regulations citing risks to the US financial system. But most importantly, he kind of said that the SEC and the way they're currently enforcing these rules just doesn't make a lot of sense. And my head is blowing up. Whew, my head is blowing up with everything that is happening in the crypto space right now. It is such an exciting time. It is such a good time to be a crypto holder because I've already reminded you a dozen times, 1,000 times maybe, we're still early to every single one of these. So let me just tell this to you as well. Don't get overwhelmed by this news because even though everything that we've found in the last 24 hours or 38 hours, whatever, 36, 48, it's been crazy bullish. Sometimes this is what they do to kind of fake you out. So what they do then is there's a ton of positive news, which inclines you to go long in positions, or to basically trade in a bullish way. And all of a sudden they dump the price because, well, that's how they make the majority of their money. Russia is moving away from the dollar and euro as a payment option for its energy exports. And Bitcoin has been mentioned as a possible substitute alongside the ruble and the national currencies of partnering countries. A high-ranking parliamentarian has indicated that Moscow may take crypto for natural gas and other resources. Remember a little while ago, guys, we talked about BlackRock's co-founder or founder. Again, world's largest asset manager BlackRock says the Russia-Ukraine war has potential impact on accelerating digital currencies because, well, it's shown that you can't really trust every other currency. And Bitcoin, there's no trusting another party. You don't have to. And so what we're seeing right now is the energy-rich nation is now looking for other currencies to replace the US dollar and euro in the gas trade. And apparently Vladimir announced that Russia will ask unfriendly nations to pay with rubles for the natural gas they buy. EU member states, many of which are heavily reliant on Russian gas supplies for heating and power generation, fall in that category. But the reason this gets even way bigger is because gas is just the beginning. This will also affect other resources. If they want to buy them, let them pay either in hard currency, for us that's gold, or in currencies that are convenient for us, that is the national currency. But as you all understand, in some interesting way, Bitcoin kind of rolls into this entire part. And again, check out this bottom part. Russia has been trying to reduce its dependence on the dollar even before the military stuff in Ukraine. In October, Deputy Foreign Minister Alexander Pankin told Interfax that Moscow may partially replace the greenback in its currency reserves and trade settlements with other fiat currencies and potentially digital assets like Bitcoin. His remark came shortly after Putin himself said in an interview with CNBC that crypto can be utilized for all trade settlements in the future. And right now we're starting to see the starts of that. But there's more. Ever since all these different parties are starting to understand basically that there's, well, a lot of necessity for preparing for a worst case scenario or preparing for a massive inflation, and so we shouldn't go for only the dollar. Bitcoin is just getting more and more utility, I guess, straight up like that. It's really funny. There's also, of course, the fact that you can pay for it in multiple different places, which is definitely a very nice thing. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says state is figuring out ways to allow businesses to pay taxes in Bitcoin. You can see also these articles are getting tens of thousands of views in a day because people are really excited about it and people understand what this means for the future of cryptocurrencies. Take a look at this. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says crypto needs new regulations, citing risks to the US financial system. It's not only them. Everywhere in the world they know the same stuff. Bank of England says crypto assets present financial stability risks. Bank begins sketching regulatory framework. Right now in these developed nations, they are building regulatory frameworks. They have to, they know they have to, and it has to happen right now. But that also obviously means that they understand the risks their financial system with Bitcoin. So they have to kind of integrate it in some way, shape, or form so that it works well. But that also means that they see the potential and longevity in all of this. And guys, I am so freaking excited right now. I can't even portray it properly. I can't even talk properly anymore. I am so freaking excited. There's even more that we can add. So we've also talked about Michael Saylor and how MicroStrategy is buying a ton of Bitcoin, and before on how there's actually really not that many Bitcoin if you start to think about it. If all these different companies start hoarding it, like for example, the Luna Foundation right now, again, they've committed to buying, $10 billion worth of Bitcoin and yet again. It's just something to realize for yourself that if all these companies start hoarding it up like crazy, there eventually really will not be that much left for the general public to just hold on to or transact with that's outside of these already established systems. Like for example, PayPal will allow the trade internally, but the PayPal will own a lot of these tokens still though. unless they eventually allow you to take it out. But then right now it's still within the PayPal ecosystem. It's the same thing as, for example, Binance having so many, let's say, for example, 1 million Bitcoin in their control, in their wallets, because they are operated within the Binance ecosystem. So even though it's your money, you can still take it out. It's within their little system. But before, I used to show you guys all the tokens I was buying on launchpads, right? Well, now things are changing a little bit because the launchpads have had a really difficult time. And right now, I'm still not sure if that's the best way to go for these things. What I'm looking for right now, guys, is, well, we got the sign. The Bitcoin dominance is falling off. The altcoin market cap is showing bullish signs. We should be going for altcoins again because they will give us way more gains than Bitcoin will, or than some of these top altcoins will. So the question is, which ones are we going to get into? Right now, guys, the next about 24 hours, I'm going to be doing a ton of research, and one that I showed you guys about a week ago or so is that the one I'm still basically getting into because I bought it earlier, is this one. Again, these are degenerate picks. You don't have to follow me or do anything of those sorts. I am buying these for the potential of being another Shiba Inu. You know going in that these things are a very high risk and not a fundamentally built up. Well, that depends on how you see it, though. The fundamentals of these things are being a joke and hopefully pumping like crazy because of more demand. You guys understand these things. But I'm just trying it out because I try about, I'm going to say 2 or so a week of these. And sometimes they pop off, sometimes they don't. But ever since I got my Shiba Inu fund, basically, what happened is I bought $100 worth of Shiba Inu. It popped off, went to tens of thousands of dollars. I'm not exactly sure how much anymore, but that turned into a little bit of a fund of mine where I'm basically going to spray and pray. I put $100, couple $1,000 into a lot of these different projects and hope they pop off. And that's exactly what I'm doing right here with Omicron. I don't want to say it out too loud, but you guys get it. So apparently the pre-sale is actually already closed, but they are launching tomorrow. And again, guys, one of the reasons I'm getting into this one is because they have a very interesting structure of airdropping to their holders a very huge amount. Because apparently they're going to be airdropping, as far as I understand, like $250,000 a day. But I'm also in their Telegram where I see like stupid where I see crazy things like this. People taking freaking tattoos of crypto projects. Why in the world would you do that? Even though they're burning, I don't know, like 40% of their supply, and there's going to be airdrops for 100 days, and I don't know the details of it too much. That is crazy. I really wonder how you can get such a tight community in such a short amount of time when there's not even, it's not even out. Right? How can people be this insane? Which is, again, I like that though, right? You got to come back to thinking of how degenerate are people to go crazy on this token. If there's, they said in the Telegram group, there's 3 people who made a tattoo of this. If that's really the case, I got to go for it, man. Of course, they're most likely going for an NFT collection soon, which you might see as a cool thing, you might see as a bad thing. But I would say the most interesting piece is that they're going to be doing airdrops for 100 days. But I believe it's going to start at about $250,000 that they give to the people at the start, and then it's going to increase as the token value increases, as it's going to list at about 0.001. And again, that's going to be at 1 CET on PancakeSwap tomorrow. So let us, of course, see that when it happens tomorrow. Might stream it because it's the first altcoin launch that I've witnessed in a little while. I bought into, I think, one of these ones recently as well. I think it's actually the pad itself, but the money I put in like months ago, it just kept delaying the launch because, of course, of market conditions. And right now, I'm starting to see a lot of the project which delayed their listing start to actually list again. So guys, be cautious, of course, but be on the wary. Look at this. Bitcoin is still pumping, is still breaking out, going crazy. $44.6 thousand. Again, remember the signal that just flashed. Things right now are looking amazing, amazing, amazing. Happy pumpy days, guys. Happy pumpy days.